and salutations again. But I was scrolling on my favorite app that shall not be named, and it's not like it's, you know, an app that hasn't been around since forever, but it's just like, it's sacred to me. I'm sorry. It's Tumblr. No, I'm sorry. I'm not telling you. And I came across this picture and it said, "Your soul knows," and I was just like exactly. And you know how sometimes you have those moments where you agree with something, but it's really like, oh, okay, bye. You know, it's not a thought that you sit and think about and self-reflect on, or not even self-reflect on, but just think about for real, you know. And that was it for me. I was like, okay, because for the past, I promise you, few days, I've been thinking about your soul knows. Like, your soul knows. My soul knows what? Like, how does my soul know? You often hear people talking about how your soul knows when it's time to move into a different chapter in your life. Your soul knows when something is not right. And I feel the conviction we get from that is the state of God letting you know what it is for the day, you know? Yeah. I was in my bed because I talked about it a little bit in my God ate me up respectfully conversation, when I was talking about you don't need signs because God already spoke, leaning on him, giving him my full confidence. And I feel like my first time experiencing leaning on God and my own understanding and really allowing God, like, okay, Jesus, I don't know what I'm doing about this situation or with this relationship I'm in or with this environment that I've created within myself. Like, Jesus, I need your help because look at the mess I've made, you feel me? Trying to do things on my own, in my own way. And yeah, was a few years ago, and it was just so many things happening. Like, you know, I prayed that prayer and God showed me so much. But like I said, the reason why I even got to the point of saying, okay, Jesus, I don't need any signs, because for so long, Jesus will show me something and I still be like, oh, Jesus, but can you show me a red card if this is not meant for me? Or, Jesus, can you tell me again in the dream if I should be doing this? When in reality, when he said it, it was done. And I felt it. It's like quiet. And then I quoted in that same conversation, God ate me up respectfully, how his voice is first pure, then peaceable, you know? And how his word separates, even is like a sword and separates even the asunder of souls. So, you know, into two, from flesh and spirit. Like, he allows you to really Jesus, if y'all just would understood the amount of deleting I had to do. But camera coming soon in Jesus' name, baby. I don't know, but okay, but I know exactly. I was still trying to lean on him, but not all the way. But yeah, like I said, it was a few years ago when I was in a situation where Jesus, I don't know if it's my intuition or if it's anxiety. I don't know if it's my discernment or my overthinking. I don't know if it's your voice or my voice. And he kept bringing me, because in this time of my life, the theme was peace. So he kept bringing the verse of peace is readily accessible for you, that God is not the author of confusion, that he showed me what overthinking is, that overthinking is a persistent, pesky feeling of nervousness. It makes you go down this onslaught of different emotions. It doesn't have any base to really stand on, really feet, no, really leg to stand on. It's just all assumption. It's just all confusion. And intuition, discernment, God's voice is a consistent feeling. I wrote a TikTok. I'm gonna see that I screenshot it. I'm gonna put it in there. But it's a consistent feeling of the same answer. No. It doesn't yell. It doesn't scream. It doesn't keep you up at night. Because I had got to a point where I was like, okay, God. I started recognizing after I got out of that situation from years ago, become like, okay, Jesus, you're right. You showed me what it was. I asked you 1,000 times, and you showed me the same answer, and it never changed. Because, like I say, God deals in 100%. It either all is or it's not. It's either heck yes or absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? And after I got that point, after I got that situation, and I was just talking to God about it, He allowed me to recognize why it was so hard for me to trust Him. Not only did that, the root was not being able to trust my first mind, because I don't know how to explain it. Being in spaces where people constantly critique everything you do that's right for you. So you start to internalize and critique yourself, and then project that on every single choice you have to make, just being really indecisive, you know? Then it just poured into every relationship I've had, and I started to associate my first mind, God's voice, with non-ambiguity, but unclear, and dishevelness, and wrapped in unsurety, I say. Even when I got this situation, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I see why it took me so long, just because He showed me that when He told me something, I overthought what He told me, thus making me think that, oh my gosh, this can't be God's voice. Maybe I'm really tweaking. When in reality, it was just me wanting something so bad to work that I knew deep down, was it mine? Was it meant for me? But I was trying to make it align when God was showing me every chance, every time I asked Him, or every time I didn't ask Him, because it always started as a feeling. Like, you know, you ever meet somebody and you just like, we just don't align. We're really not compatible. It's something about you, you know, not in a way of like, I don't know, you think she out, not that type of energy, but more so, this person isn't for me. We just don't mesh, right? But you like, I want to be judgmental, so you go for it. So then God gives you an even more consistent feeling of, oh, we really don't align, because you start feeling uncomfortable around them, which is why I always say God does not make you uncomfortable. Life does not breed in discomfort. You feel me? You need cool, calm climates where all of the sources and the nutrients that you need to sprout. Like, boo-boo. Then He makes you like, okay, you said not listen to me, so so now I'm going to allow you to see and hear the words that they say. You know what I'm saying? Whether it is about other people, whether it's about themselves, whether it's about you, I'm gonna let you see the behavior. And like, ooh, okay. And then you know, the small things become really big, and then because God doesn't want you to experience the big thing. And unfortunately for me, a few years ago, I experienced the big thing that made me realize, like, oh, okay, Jesus, like, you know? So from a feeling, it's always consistent, what you always feel at first. Just when you go back and think about certain things, you just like, dang, I always, you know? And I thought I talked about that too, so now I feel like, oh, what does my soul know? Because I'm no longer in the situation where I'm trying to ask God, like, okay, God, this is not for me, how do I know that? But now I'm like, okay, this is for me, how do I know that? Like, how are you letting me know that, yes, I'm on the right path? Being in a new environment, you know what I'm saying? Because every step you take with God, it's a new moment. Like, you always stepping into a new, you always learning something, or and the learning doesn't have to be filled with this and that. And, you know, David and Goliath, with a little rock, knocked the nigga down. to his toes. So I gotta stop saying stuff like that. I'm sorry, guys. But even in, I don't want to say small ways, because every way is monumental when you with Jesus for real. But just in a way where, I don't know, you feel me? Like resting, or it's standing still, or is God telling you, okay, calm down, I got it. It's just surrendering the reins. So now that I surrendered the reins and I'm in the waiting room, it's like, oh, okay, how do I know that I've stepped into this new, right? And then I felt it, like, yeah, I'm in a whole different headspace. I'm a whole different person. I don't know. I really feel like this will still be a question that I'm having, an active conversation I'm having with God right now, you know? How does my soul know when I'm in a new space, but it doesn't reflect physically? It doesn't reflect in the environment that I'm in, because outside looking in, I'm still right here where I started in so many other ways, like, but inside looking out, I'm able to notice that I even react differently to things, that I have a different approach and mindset about life, about people, about environments, about past situations, about right now that it's allowed me to be present, or even just about being in a new headspace, not headspace, but being in a new moment. Is so crazy. It's just a weird feeling, like when you know something is coming, but when you're in the waiting room, it's just like, that's when you gotta buckle down and trust him for real. You know, like you really have to stand 10 toes behind that faith that you said you put in God's hands. But yeah, girl, I really hope all of this made sense, because it's just, I don't know, y'all just on this journey with me, and I thank you for being on this journey with me, and I thank you for listening for real. But yeah, I love y'all, because it's to y'all. This is just like we sitting on the porch type shit, but really in the park. But we sit on the porch, we chilling, we chatting, we talking, shooting the S word, talking about life, talking about how do you know your soul knows. Like, what's the feeling that you have that God gives you? Like, what's gonna be for you? And I know it's gonna be like, it's just gonna be your feeling when you just know. You just gonna get it when you in it. So I guess I'm not in it. Or sometimes I feel like I'm in it, and then I'm just like, oh, well, just when I look around me. So it's just, I feel like God is just saying, keep my eyes on him, keep my eyes towards heaven, focus on God, don't focus on what the outside looks like, because he's moving the puzzle pieces. And I was talking to him yesterday about preparation, and I used to have, I'm not gonna say resentment, but something like resentment, because resentment is too strong and it's so serious sounding, but because it wasn't that. But I used to have this vendetta, this girl, I don't want you, against preparation, because I'm like, okay, preparation, Jesus, I've been prepared enough. And then he changed it to provider, because I asked God. He made me, I was talking to him about exactly that, just like, oh, Jesus, under the die. I journaled about it yesterday too, of how he fathers, you know, how a father fathers, and he provides. And when I'm talking about God, the Father, amen, of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, amen, it's about providing every single moment, because God doesn't just say, okay, here you go, here's the money you've been asking me for. He's going to teach you about emotional spending. He's going to teach you about financial literacy. He's going to teach you about patience. He's going to teach you about, when he says go do that, you do that. When he says, okay, only take this and no more, you take that. You know, that's making me think about the manna and the bread, when Jesus was telling them people like, oh, only eat the bread at this specific time, this specific hour, don't do nothing. Just obedience. So he's not just gonna say, oh, okay, yeah, girl, here you are, here you go. He's going to teach you about the things leading up to what you are asking him for, because he's providing for you every single day. So when he's changed my perspective of preparation and showed me that preparation is him providing, it made me look at the present moment without dread, you know? I'm no longer dread the next day and being sad about, oh my God, just I'm still here. Just like, no, God is still providing for me right now. Because I can look back at certain things, be like, dang, I'm happy I didn't make this move. I'm happy that I didn't go this place because I was not ready for it. God did not provide that opportunity for me yet. And also to not get antsy to the point where I'm just like, well, God, fuck it, I'm finna go ahead and do what I gotta do, because it's really easy when you're not supposed to be doing something that you're not supposed to do. Like, the devil gonna just throw you, here you go, gonna be throwing you lives, here you go, because he needs every single opportunity in order to get you off track of what God is trying to set you on. And now that I'm understanding how important it is to surrender, knowing when to surrender, and I guess that's what my soul is doing right now. It's just knowing when to surrender, which is like right now, which is all the time, to just give it to him, to have faith in what he's told me. Is just letting go and letting God. That's so crazy. Like, the old church things that just sound so cliche, just like, yeah, girl, let go, let God. Exactly, amen. It's like God's providing me for this exact moment, and it's gonna be difficult because I'm so used to the easy mode. I'm so used to getting things I wanted. I'm so used to, because when I think about people that I used to have in my life, I can't even tell you how we even built a connection. You're like, oh, it just happened. But with God, he's so meticulous, where you gonna know, oh yeah, it's him every single time. There will be no uncertainty, no confusion. It will be like, oh yeah, God gave me this specifically, and then he taught me how to hone it, how to steward it, how to maintain it, how to grow it, how to build upon it. Which is why it's important for people to know that my tweet, bitch, I said, because I'm thinking about a lot of things, baby. And just how the thing of telling your soul that you were a star before niggas ever told you that. You know what I'm saying? Then where I going with that, period. That's all that was. Okay, period. We love it. So yeah, just knowing that God is providing me in this moment is letting me know that it was just time for him to teach me to lean on him fully. And I feel like that's what I'm doing. And I'm trying to question it because of how I used to question my first mind. But because God has already taught me about anxiety, overthinking is persistent, and his voice discernment intuition is consistent, has not allowed me to go back into that same cycle of repeated thoughts, of ruminating, of overthinking what he's telling me. So like, baby, you don't need no sign. I let you know already. Just sit still and wait. You are already out. I'm providing for you right now. I'm building upon what you already know. So when you get it in your hand, because it was already yours the moment I put it on your heart, because you just didn't think of it. I told you from young, this is what I want you to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're young, you be like, oh, I want to be this or whatever. I want to be a concoction of things that I had never even heard of. You know, the journey between childhood to adulthood, you kind of lose your way. Your dreams kind of become faint because of people being in your ear saying, oh, this is impossible, or people being in your ear and say, oh, choose something more practical, or you feeling like, I have to take on the reins to take care of my family by doing something I don't love. But passion, well, I ain't gonna say patience, the gift that God gives you, it's gonna happen. He's gonna make it manifold, so we could use it for each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I guess your soul knows when to surrender, because you understand how integral it is to understand. Integral it is to know how important. Why I keep saying the same thing, baby? How integral the role of a provider that God is. Father figure, is you kidding? But yeah, I hope that made sense. But like I said, I kept talking. I ended the video, but that just kind of popped in my mind. Period. Love you, Jesus. Thank you. But yeah, I love y'all. To y'all. Like I said, I want this to be real chill, as it always is, to be honest. But yeah, bye. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Y'all like my fit? Let me see. Do I look cute? I promise you I saw somebody come. I'm so happy I made these, y'all. I read these all the time. And I want to talk about that too.